patience. I've spent a lot of effort on the website. The website is a big part of why I've been working 50 and 60-hour weeks the last couple weeks, getting all that together. I think it's a worthwhile resource, though. So this deck has some quality disruptive elements between Path to Exile and then 1-mana discard spells and some brutalities, and then we get to generate some real card advantage between Dark Confidant, Dark Confidants 5 through 8 in Pain Seer, and then as well as get some good card selection here in Smuggler Copter. So last time we played a league, we went 3-2 with this, I believe. We ended up actually losing to blue-white control twice. So we didn't have the 1-mana discard spells in that league, though, and we didn't have Bitterblossom in the sideboard. So hopefully we can pair into blue-white control again in this league and get kind of a better feel to see if that matchup has improved with some of the changes that we've made. Does this deck need the red? Yeah, Chubbs. I think the red is important. I think having reach in your deck that's aggressive is impressive from Lightning Bolt, and I think Plated Geopede and Step Links are what give your deck a nut draw. And having a nuts draw that allows you to just have insane, crazy, aggressive starts in Modern is like really important. I think this hand is a keep. What do we think? I've got 2 pieces of cheap removal. I can curve the Chopper into the Pain Seer. Seems like not completely unreasonable. It's not one of our most aggressive draws, but like we're kind of interactive when we've got some card advantage and selection, right? Why in the deck editor some cards have the yellow thing? So the yellow border around cards in Magic Online means that they're not currently in my collection. But if you'll notice here, it's got this little green logo on the side, which means I own different copies of these cards. So if I right-click here and hit Update with Versions and Collection, this Dark Confidant turns into the different Dark Confidant that I currently have. Right, humans. This hand it's probably not the worst against humans. We've got like Doomblade into like pseudo Doomblade. If they have Athalia's Lieutenant on 2, I guess we're still kind of even okay in the face of that, right? Like I get to like path this on 1 and then like probably Brutality kill their 2-drop. Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, the reason it did that is because I generally prepare deck lists in advance on Magic Online, and then my sponsor MTGO Traders, they give me cards for whatever decks that I'm going to be playing, 2 decks at a time. So a lot of the time I'll get 4 or 5 decks that I know are coming up set up in my deck editor, and then the copies of the cards that I get from MTGO Traders don't necessarily match up with the versions that the deck editor has picked. Bob's loyalty is... It is, actually. Actually, it's kind of funny in a way. Pain Seer is, like, arguably better than Dark Confidant in a matchup like this, because Pain Seer kind of gives us a little bit better control over when we're taking health and damage from its trigger to generate card advantage. So, is it worth ditching a card here to be able to gain 2 health? Stream Decker isn't updated. Thank you, Hat Crab. Is it worth ditching the front half of my Lingering Souls to potentially gain 2 health? I'm at 17, right? I guess I have Pain Seer to generate card advantage. I don't think it is. I'm gonna feel like really bad if they have like Land Mantis Rider and I didn't gain a little bit of extra here, but I think there could maybe even be an argument that I want to ditch the Pain Seer just because of my health total. Itty bitty bugle boy, company B. That's true too. We like kind of want things to get going with the Copter. So here we get to go Smuggler's Chapter, and then we get to Path to Exile this Bugler next turn, which is nice. if they deploy 2 threats this turn, we could potentially be in a little bit of trouble. That's pretty annoying. Because they're gonna get to deploy the Thalia's Lieutenant here too and make this a 3/2. Yeah, my site has some of my software stuff there on it as well. Yeah, the reason why I'm pathing it is because they got Thalia's Lieutenant off of the Bugler trigger, and then what Thalia's Lieutenant means that my Copter can no longer block that in a meaningful way. Yeah. And I think I just need to play defense here at this point. I think it's just like Pain Seer pass, like hold up Smuggler's Copter as a blocker. Because this card loots when it blocks too for some reason. Well designed card. Well thought out, well tested. So if they have another lieutenant or 2 humans, they could try and trade the Copter for the Thalia's Lieutenant. So long as they can't get the Lieutenant to a 4/4 this turn, we might be in a spot where we can come back from here. But if they're able to get the Lieutenant to a 4/4 here and we're forced to like chump block with the Smuggler's Copter, we're probably going to be a little bit too far to come back from. Sure. What makes Copter good in this deck when it's not good in other decks? I mean, who said Smuggler's Copter is not good in other decks? So Smuggler's Copter is a card that both provides... Yeah, we're pretty dead. Okie doke. This is going to copy Thalia's Lieutenant and then give them many blockers. So we've got a couple of Fatal Pushes and then another Collective Brutality to bring it onto the board as more spot removal. Thoughtseize is pretty mediocre here. I don't really want to lose health for that. And then Bloodghast isn't a particularly compelling attacker on their board of creatures. Well, I guess Dark Confidant's pretty medium here. Trim one of him. That seems fine. I don't think this is a Bitterblossom matchup. What do you think? Bitterblossom or Bob? Honestly, Bitterblossom might be better than Bob. I think I'd buy that for $1. I think 1 health and a guaranteed token every turn is probably better. Seems pretty decent. This is the type of hand where like Dark Confidant's potentially very good, right? Like we get to play Bob turn 2 on the play. We have some spot removal to keep their initial pressure down. We have a Collective Brutality to get us a little bit of health. I don't know, Luca. I don't think grinding out card advantage is like how we win this game. I think we have, or I think the lack of an ability to grind out card advantage is not going to be our issue in these games. Like, I feel like we have a lot of different elements that generate card advantage in this deck. So like trimming the Dark Confidant seems fine to me just because it's card advantage, but it has a liability associated with it because of the way it generates card advantage. Mantis Rider, that's fine. So I think at this point I'm going to, let's see what we draw. That's pretty good. This card's really good against aggressive decks. That seems really weird, Zoptic. Having a secondary game plan that loses to the same cards that your primary game plan loses to seems super awkward. So this card will make 2 points of energy for us, and then we we can spend energy to give it lifelink. So basically it's going to get to bounce off this 4/4, and it's going to gain us 3 health when we do so. This is like a 7-point swing, basically. Because it flies as well. Lots of flying cards on whatever plane of existence this is. We took 3 from Bob. That's why we're at 13. That's rude. That is super rude. Why not pathing? No. I'm not sure if that's a serious question. This generates extra mana for them. This gives them a mana. So you should almost... It's almost... I'm cautious to use the words never do something, but it's pretty rare that you would ever want to... path a noble. Smolkra, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Johnny redeemed. Every deck on my website that has a sideboard or guide or primer written for it is linked on the decklist page. So if you go to the decklist page on jeffhoagland.com/decklist and click into the blue-red tempo, you're gonna find what you're looking for. Thanks. Yeah, the blue-red tempo deck is really sweet. Come on, Bob. Play for the home team. Come on, Bobby. Alright, so we're going to path this. We're going to Collective Brutality, escalate, ditch the Bloodghast this. And then we'll play Concealed Courtyard and pop this back into play. Odds of them having an instant or sorcery we want to take are pretty low, so it's not even going to worry about that. I don't think I need to hold up Path to Exile this turn. I think I'm just going to get the Concealed Courtyard into play tapped. In order to hold up the Path to Exile, I'd have to cost myself, you know, a Fetch Shock to do it, which is quite a lot of health in this aggressive matchup. Yes. The classic turn for Aether Vial. This is pretty good. This is alongside the Noble Hierarchy here. This is going to let them attack through the Aethersphere Harvester this turn. So we're going to take a crackdown to 5 here. So I'm going to go ahead and escalate this to drain them again. Do this, ditch this Bloodsoaked Champion. And again, you're seeing some of our kind of grindy synergy card advantage style stuff here. I get to go ahead and crew this, and then after this attacks and gets in some points here, we're going to get to go ahead and bring back the Bloodsoaked Champion out of our discard pile that we discarded earlier. Good games, Panther. Good luck in the rest of your league. I guess I want to path this Mantis Rider here because it just bounces otherwise. Am I blocking with Bob next turn? I think I missed 2 points of damage here. I don't think I'm blocking with Bob, but if I'm not blocking with Bob, I probably should have attacked with him. Can't block, must attack are almost the same thing on an empty board. We went 3-2. We lost to blue-white control, and then the 5th match we got paired into Bogles, and I just didn't play the match. The deck's pretty bad against Bogles. Could we not wait until their turn? Well, if by pathing proactively now, I deal 3 points of damage to them, because their Mantis Rider was a 4/4, so that meant it could block my 3/5 for free. I'd prefer it didn't block my 3/5, so I can try and, like, beat them to death. Ugh. Super punished for getting aggressive with the Aethersphere Harvester. No, I felt like I needed to be aggressive here because we need to just end this game, or the Dark Confidant could potentially kill us, but this is pretty punishing. We have revealed a high-cost card and then drawn a low-cost card every single turn with Dark Confidant now. Feels bad, man. Play Pain Seer. I'm going to play Bloodsoaked Champion. I think I'm going to pass the turn here. No, I don't think I need to attack with Bob. I think Bob's still playing on the home team. He offers a chump block down the line here, too. Unless they're playing something like Kessig Malcontents, which is pretty rare in humans. I think they're not going to have a huge chance to burn us out here. You like attacking with double gas there. That might be okay. I guess our chances of hitting a land next turn are pretty good. Yeah, maybe the attack with double gas is right. I can see that. We're pretty dead at this point, Athelia's Lieutenant. I think that's narrow. I think that's going to bite you more often than it's going to help you, Infamous. Yeah, Bugler's kind of like filled up those like flex slots, right, basically. Landfall went 3 and 2. Died to blue-white control, conceded to Bogles. Was confirmed to be a real live modern deck. A lack of flying creatures this game has been really terrible for us. Yeah, if they attack here, like, Bob is, like, hopping in front of the bus. Honestly, yeah, no attacks here makes sense. Oh, kite sail. I wonder if Siphoner is good enough alongside Harvester. That card has Menace, right? Menace is really good. Where do I stand on the Bugler humans debate? I stand on the side of I don't have enough experience playing the deck to have an educated stance. So unlike many people in the world, when I don't have an educated stance, I just say, I don't know, defer to someone who's smarter than me. Defer to someone with more experience than me. Yeah, Siphoner is actually an interesting idea. I saw her pile of heads. What's going on, wife? Yes, y'all got the bingo square, okay? Y'all got the bingo square. What do the kids say? YOLO? Abzan shells for another worker. There is an Abzan Loampox deck on my website that's been a total hoot whenever we've played it. Yeah, Christy is Krillodactyl. Perfect. Now when we draw our second land, they know how lucky we were to draw it. Urborg Thoughtseize isn't guaranteed 8 rack. Green-black rock plays Urborg. I think the rack list on my website is one Urborg in it. Urborg's been pretty reasonable in that archetype for me. I mean, that's like the definition of every deck in Modern and Magic, right? It's great except when it doesn't do its thing. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Listen, chat. If you weren't gonna show up and be lucky, you just shouldn't play Magic. You should check out chess or Overwatch or one of them low variance games. There aren't budget replacements for those cards, Gurns. I think the deck is just much worse without them. Confirmed 8-rack, actually. Alright. Is the matchmaking system? Yep. Oh, randoms, do 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 do. So many garbage tier characters. Ensnaring Bridge. Can we beat that card? I guess we can technically diddle them with Night Market Lookouts here, huh? Night Market Lookout and his car. Just keep the crews coming, yep. So you're saying I am in fact saying there's a chance. There's a good chance we're not going to be able to attack with a 3-power thing next turn, so I'm going to go ahead and ditch these Lingering Souls and just flash those back now. Don't discard Copter because of Wretch Mind. That's like the next level play right there. Beep, beep, look out, cheap. Yep. Don't mind me. Just sprinting towards the finish line. Alright, alright. Driving fast in cars. Cars. I always feel safest in my car. Knock you to 4. Not attacking with my lookouts because they've got Angry Mutavaults. I have a Path to Exile. That was, God. No, I guess they still, if they would have animated one, I'd path it, they'd animate the other, and then I'd lose the lookout. If there's any conventional wisdom for auto yield Agamotto. Yeah, auto yield to things that you don't want to respond to. Yeah. Yeah, just drain you. How much do you want to look at a list before I cut the line donation? If you're sending in $100, you don't have to. I'll just you know, if it's anything close to resembling a reasonable Magic deck, and I just ship it with a hundo. That being said, please be aware that if you're thinking about cutting today, this has to be my last league today. I have to be out of here by like 3:30 at the latest, which means we're not going to have time to do another one after this. So be aware of that. Today is not a good day to cut the line. Night Market Lookout, the real OG. Got our back. Also keep in mind that if you don't want to cut into the same day, you just want to be at the start of the next day, it's cheaper than $100. You only have to beat whatever deck is currently at the top of the queue. Yeah, but like, all of our cards that are left in my deck seem pretty good here, right? I guess this doesn't really matter. Do I see any cut on my MTGO traders? No, my MTGO traders is just a flat rate. They give me a flat rate every month, plus they loan me cards. So please use the code. The code sends them the message. It is worth paying me money. It is worth lending me cards. What am I doing later today? Jake gets off the bus at 3:30, and I have to be outside for that. And then Jake is here, so I can't be streaming while Jake is here because Jake is awesome, but he is loud because he is 4. Think I'm ditching Harvester here. I am loud as well. I'm coherent though. Jake is like, you know, 4-year-old just like running circles. Screaming a lot of the time. What would I do if MTGO traders did not loan me cards? I would approach other stores for possible sponsorships. And if I could not find an MTGO store to sponsor me, I would cut Wizards of the Coast a check for the, you know, $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 that it costs to have a full modern collection of Magic Online, and then do that and write it off my taxes. Can you kill my Bob? Brutality, rough. Punished for not bidding my Anguished Unmaking here. Thanks for helping me avoid dissertation writing for a full 9 months. Thanks, J-Man Dog, for the 3/4 of a year support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I'm going to hold this Vault of the Archangel in my hand because if they play a Wretch Mind, I want to be able to keep a Pain Seer here. Prince of 95 with that brand new Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome. I do appreciate that. Thanks for supporting my content here and keeping me employed. Welcome, welcome. Everybody, if you didn't catch it earlier, this Friday we're going to be doing a celebration stream for rolling past 2,000 sub points here on stream. I'm going to be doing a bunch of giveaways from my different sponsors. I've got some stuff from Inked Gaming and Cool Stuff Inc. I'm going to give away some playmats that I have here from various events that I'm going to sign. And other things of that nature. So you're going to want to make sure you drop by for part of the stream. We're going to be on for 10 or 12 hours on Friday. I'm not giving away a mattress. I do not have them. From some of this, I've got stuff from a few of the sponsors. All right, so let's do this. What's my schedule Friday? 9 a.m. to about 9 p.m. 8 or 9 p.m. We'll see how it's going. I'm gonna start at my normal 9 a.m. slot and then go for a minimum of 10 hours. Probably closer to 12. Even though I like both of my cards, we're gonna loot here because we could hit something like a Bloodghast or a Lingering Souls, and then it's just like a freebie. It doesn't really matter here. Yes, I am Central Cornfield time. Good chance we lose both the cards in our hand here. If we can untap with the Pain Seer, we could potentially stay in this game. But if they're able to both empty our hand and kill the Pain Seer, we're probably dead to rights. This is the way. You know, it's funny. So there's been a lot of, anybody that follows Magic Twitter or Reddit knows there's been a lot of drama around the Hall of Fame. If you don't believe that there's too much slow play in Magic, you haven't played enough Magic Online or watched enough of my stream while I play Magic Online. The amount of this person is down 3, 5, 10 minutes on clock while we're sitting here playing. It's just like, that's so much of the time that happens. Last week you were supposed to start trotting people. People want to feel smart and play Hallowed Fountain. It's your duty to punish them. Okay, so they could have Bantus to kill my Pain Seer. They chose not to. If I get to trigger this Pain Seer, Alright, well, I guess they're empty-handed, we're empty-handed. We hit anything that can crew. This Copter will be in an okay spot. I did not, Pythrion. Yay! This is the way we drive the car, drive the car, drive the car. This is the way we drive the car so early in the morning. And again, I'm going to go ahead and loot with this blind because we have Bloodghast and Lingering Souls and Night Market and Bloodsoaked Champions and lots of other things that get value out of the discard pile. Get the value drain there too. Putting in giveaways to a certain time. So I think the way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to have people be able to click a link or something. I need to work out the details of the giveaways tonight with Christy and see how we want to do it. But I think people are just going to like have a window to enter the giveaways during the entirety of the stream tomorrow. And then I'll pull the winners off stream. Just because the reason why I haven't done giveaways in the past is because I hate taking away from on-stream time when we could be playing Magic to do things like giveaways, because I always tune out of streams when stuff like that happens. Deal. What if I told you I had a backup car? What if I told you I had a backup car? Night Market Lookout has just been, like, quietly one of the best cards in this deck. It's been really good. This is the third time we've played this deck on stream. You can find the last 2 leagues with it on my YouTube channel or on the Black White Cars page on my website. Vroom, vroom. Oh, yeah, come at me. Think you can race my Night Market Lookout? That's adorable. That's adorable. Think you can race my Night Market Lookout? Flashback, Lingering Souls. Get to the chopper! To the chopper! Crew it up. Crew it up. Do. Yep. Are there any other decks that could utilize Aethersphere? I'm not sure. I feel like the vehicles kind of, like, in order for them to excel in Modern, they kind of need to be in a Lingering Souls-esque deck, because those are, like, the really only kind of decks that come into my mind, at least, that generally have that many extra creatures laying around. The last league we played, we got dumpstered by blue-white control twice, so we made some changes after that league to hopefully make that better. It's just a fab mean deck. My system's very simple, Fliptus. The decks that people send me dollary dues want to see are the ones that get played. And this is a deck that's felt competitive, and it's kind of sweet when we've played it. So it's one that when the person that's donated for it in the past says, hey, can I donate for this again? I'm like, yep, that deck's sweet. Fine to run it back. What do you think about Reed Duke POV coverage for Richmond? I have no idea what that is. We added some 1-mana discard spells to the main deck, and we added Bitterblossom and Gideon Ally of Zendikar to the sideboard. Is this lethal? This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm 1 short even if I cast Lingering Souls here. I'm gonna go ahead and hold it to loot through. I'm actually gonna keep the Thoughtseize here because if they're holding an Ensnaring Bridge, it's one of the ways they could win this game. Okie doke. I believe they're on the 0-outer. Thought we were friends. Warlord, did I miss one? I don't remember that, Warlord. That sounds like some nonsense. And you did, 8-Rack. And you did. Yeah, relevant Magic related links are always welcome in coverage. Speaking of relevant Magic related links, if you haven't read my article for today on CoolStuffInc.com, you should check that out. There's an article that's lovingly titled "Don't Metagame Modern," which is something that I hear people talk about a lot, and they're doing it for silly reasons. Don't do it, chat. Don't metagame modern. If you want to read about why you should metagame modern, click on my article's link there. It's free to read, no paywall. No paywall there. 1-1 on the plate for the next one. Man, we are loving the one-landers today, right? Is Bob new in this list? Nope, this deck's always had Dark Confidant in it through all the iterations. What about Ghost Away? I think Ghost Away is an absurdly narrow Magic the Gathering card. And I would not want to play a card that is that narrow. I think I want to lead on my 2-1 here. Alright, I'm going to play Inquisition here on 2 rather than another threat because the start looks like Storm. I would like to take their only creature if they only have 1 potentially. I'm just going to take the Baral away. I know I have this Path to Exile here, but giving them extra mana to kill their Baral is generally not where we want to be in life. And this way, if they draw another creature, I can go ahead and kill that one. What you could replace Bolt with in red-black Hollowed One. Probably want to max on Collective Brutalities, then play some amount of Fatal Pushes as well. I'd imagine you go to like 4 Brutalities, then a couple of pushes. Alright, I wouldn't be too surprised this was a Ritual Gifts turn. So let's cast a Thoughtseize here and see where we end up at. So Team Unified Modern says if one player on your team is using Lightning Bolt, other ones can't. So someone else on their team is likely using Lightning Bolts, so they cannot have Lightning Bolt in their deck. I personally enjoy playing Hollowed One more than playing Humans. Humans is very good, but it's very dry in my opinion. So they're letting me take Gifts Ungiven here, which I think is the one I want, right? So if they hit a land, they can go Ritual. They might see, kind of surprised to not see a Repeal there. Just try and hit a mana creature to kill us next turn. That lets us hold up a Path to Exile here, which is nice. We've actually had, like, for stumbling here, we've actually had a very good mix of disruption plus pressure this game, right? Yeah. Yeah, I personally really like the old unified rules. The old unified rules before the stupid ones that we have now is you had to be able to take all three of your decks and stack them on top of each other, and then that had to deck check to be a legal modern deck. So basically, one person could play like 2 lightning bolts, and another person could play 2, etc. You could divvy up cards. You could put 2 stonies here and 2 stonies here. I think thought that was a much better way to handle it. But what do I know? Take their Manamorphos here. You finally get to the repeal? Yeah, I think they probably should have repealed last turn, honestly. How it works now, if one player has a card, they're the only one that can have that card in the team, regardless of how many copies they can have. So, Unified where you all played the same format like that in general, I think is a weird format, or honestly, I think it's a bad format, because it's just narrow Modern. It's not even anything particularly interesting. It's just like normal Modern, except a bunch of decks that happen to play cards that overlap with other decks are just randomly unplayable. I don't think it leads to more creative card choices in Modern. Modern is a format where there are so many different decks that you can play that are optimal without overlapping. Nobody's changing. Most people aren't adding a few bad cards to their deck because of that rule. They're just like playing different decks. So they're just like, I'm gonna play Tron because Tron doesn't really have cards that overlap with other reasonable Modern decks. I'm gonna play Humans because it doesn't have a lot of cards that overlap. I'm gonna play, Bogles because it doesn't have a lot of overlap. Basically, it just takes the format and makes it super narrow. You just like find out, all right, what are the reasonable good Modern decks, and you just like build Venn diagrams with pools of decks that don't overlap. And you're like, all right, well, this is a set of decks that don't overlap. This is another one. And then you find your favorite set of the regular Modern decks that are fine. All right, sweet. Well, with the removal spell here, we've caused them to brick off. So we'll see what they go for here. We know they have Noxious Revival in their hand still. So that's a card I want to be... Did they have Noxious Revival? Yeah, they have Revival in their hand. So it's a card I want to be conscious of that they have access to while we're picking what we're giving them with these gifts. Definitely just want to ditch the rituals. Not particularly close. Ditch the mana. I think in Standard, you probably get some creativity with deck building because there's just less playable cards in Standard. So, like, you have to, like, actually kind of scrimp and scrounge to, like, find some interesting playable ones. I think we're dead here. Nox with the host. Welcome to folks who are from Nox's channel. We are not playing a video game on my stream. We are playing Magic the Gathering Online, which is a paper cardboard emulator. So we are dead here, I believe. Beral, Chief of Compliance, plus they've got 2 rituals and a Past in Flames in their bin, so they can Past in Flames flashback for 4 and then go writ. Oh, they don't have gifts in their graveyard. Okay, the fact that they don't have a gifts in their discard pile here could mean that we're okay. I think they're gonna have to cantrip. I think they're going to have to cantrip to kill us here. Is this the last game? No, this is game 1 of match 3. We've got 2 more matches after this one. I'm not going to be on for a long stream today. I do have to pick my oldest up off the bus by 3:30. Fortunately, the first part of our stream was cut off by moto downtime this morning. I'm doing well, McPick. It is atrocious for sideboards. But like I said, it basically just creates narrow Modern. For people that want shortcuts, if they have a mana creature in play and they cast Gifts Ungiven with at least 3 mana floating, you are deterministically dead. So you can just, wrap it up. We have a bunch of great sideboard cards for this matchup, though. To trim some of our clunkers at the top end here that aren't particularly good against a linear combo deck. Actually going to trim a couple of Path to Exiles. Fatal Push is much better in this matchup. All their creatures die to Push and Path. I think I'm actually going to trim Bloodghast. It's not a matchup where we really need to be generating grinding card advantage. This actually looks pretty okay, right? We got a bunch of permanent base disruption. We've got some discard base disruption. We've got some creature removal. Yeah, we've got a lot of this. We've got a lot of good cards on the board for this matchup. We almost won that first game, right? If we would have hit our second land by turn 3 or 4, we probably would have been in a very reasonable spot. Yeah, we've got 4 pieces of 1 mana discard and some brutalities, and then a bunch of permanent base disruption. So that combined with the fact that we have a bunch of 1 and 2 drops that can attack and block, like, should put us in a decent spot here. No, usually they can go really far over the top, Underdog Mizzy. I don't know numerically what it is, but I do think there's probably a number you could get to, but it's almost certainly much higher than 30. And sweet. The fact that we have discard mixed in with our permanent base disruption is extra sweet too, because it means that we're able to kind of pick through their anti-disruption, so we can like take away their repeals and their echoing truce and their abrades to like make our damping sphere stick around. So this is really important. It's important to remember that Damping Sphere is symmetrical, and that's relevant because if I play Damping Sphere here on 2, it means on 3, I won't be able to play a 1 mana spell and a 2 mana spell. So I'm going to choose the Collective Brutality here on 2, because this way I can play Bloodsoaked Champion plus Damping Sphere next turn. They have Abrade and Wipe Away. I'm going to get rid of the Abrade here, I think. So they have Wipe Away, but we're going to have multiple Damping Spheres, so got that going for us. So next turn we'll get to go Champion into Damping Sphere. The fact that their opening lands are Shivan Reef Seer means that while our creatures don't have a ton of power, like getting in their chip shops for 2 along with their mana base hurting them is a big deal for us. Yep. Awesome, Waterfalls. When do I look at submitted decks? Usually I respond to submitted decks every 3 to 4 days. It's been a couple of days since I did, so I will be responding to submitted decks this evening at some point. You'll get an email whether I accept or reject it to the email that you listed in the forum. Yeah, Damping Spheres do stack. So if there's 2 Damping Spheres in play and your opponent plays a 1 mana spell, their next spell is going to cost 2, or he plays a spell, their next spell is going to cost 2 more. And the second spell that turn will cost 4 more, etc. Which version of Fae is my favorite? Straight blue-black Fae, I think, is the most reasonable. Perfect. So, get to play this Bloodsoaked Champion. Get to go ahead and play this out for 3. Get to smash them down to 8 here. And then we've got 6 in play, which means their Shivan Reefs are going to be cut off very soon here. So if they want to even cast another cantrip this turn, it's going to cost them 3 mana to cast it. So they're probably not going to get to play another spell, which means we're going to correct them for 6 next turn. Yeah, they basically need Echoing Truth here. So we're going to go to 6 here on this attack. Put my Smuggler's Copter into play. Pass the turn. They drew Echoing Truth. Repeal. Yes! Victory. Are you dead, Jet? Yeah, did you? And I'm pretty happy with how we sideboarded there, so let's run it back. Came up a little bit short game 1. You have a link to the deck list. There is a deck list on your screen via the Stream Decker widget. If you don't have access to the Stream Decker widget, you can type !deck in chat. If you'd like to find more videos with this deck list after I'm done here today, you can go to jeffhoagland.com/decklist. It's under fan favorites is black white cars. You know, honestly, 3 Damping Spheres in the sideboard of this deck might be overkill with how many other cards we happen to have that are good against Storm. Gosh, this hand is good. Just like turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Bob, turn 3 Wet Ball. Yeah, Harvester is for any kind of aggressive or mid-range matchup. Harvester lets your... One of the big things the vehicles do in this deck is they let our cards like... Yeah, I should probably Thoughtseize on one so I can bob on 2. That is... that's a hand. What they do with their Serum Visions last turn. They went bottom, bottom. So, the greedy play is take Serum Visions. I think the correct play here is take Empty the Warrens. If they hit a red source next turn, they just get to go Ritual, Ritual, make a bunch of goblins, and we probably can't win from there. There's a chance that we land screw them by taking Serum Visions, but I think the correct play is just like take the card that beats us. Because I think we're going to have enough tools to, like, beat the Shattering Spree as we go along here. I'm like, yeah, they're totally just bricking off. Perfect. Feed me cards, Papi. Feed me cards. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to escalate this just because I would prefer to not die to my Dark Confidant. This game should be pretty over. Drew another empty. I am just going to take their empty again. Take their Shattering Spree. Next turn, hopefully we'll hit an untapped land and go like Pain Seer plus Damping Sphere. Maybe Copter plus Damping Sphere. Alright, sweet. So... a little bit of bad beat for them there in that third game, but we also lost game 1 because we stumbled and died too, so, you know, turnaround's fair game. How's everyone doing? If everyone's having a good time here today, we're 2-1 with the sweet black-white cards deck. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I focus on Magic the Gathering, and I play primarily Modern on this channel. This deck, like most of the decks that I play on this stream, is a viewer-submitted deck list. If you're interested in potentially having me play one of your decks on stream, you can submit that. Warlord, thanks for checking out Honey. I appreciate that support. You can submit that by using the link bit.ly/HoogleSubmit. Past submitting deck lists for me to play. You can also support my content by subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are quite literally the people that keep me employed here full time. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their support. And finally, you can support myself by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. MTGOtraders.com. I'd love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. Honey is a free browser add-on that when you install it using link bit.ly/HoogleHoney, you'll be supporting my content here at no cost to yourself. What Honey does is, when you are shopping online, it takes a look at stuff in your shopping cart and searches automatically for some coupon codes for you. If it can save you money on the stuff you're buying anyways, it offers to do so, and if it can't, it leaves you completely alone. Lisa will like to get you on your way to a better night's sleep. Christy and I have been sleeping with Lisa for the last 2 months now, and we really enjoy it. You can save $160 or more on your new mattress by checking out links bit.ly/HoogleBedUS and bit.ly/HoogleBedCA. And of course, we'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. Please talk to your friendly neighborhood moderator about receiving your complimentary timeout. Yeah, this opener's pretty good. Interesting question. Do I want to lead on Bloodsoaked Champion or do I want to lead on Inquisition of Kozilek? I almost feel like I want to lead on Bloodsoaked Champion just so I can get my pressure going. I'm going to start beating them to death before we start disrupting them. there are definitely situations where like we could Inquisition them and like catch them with their pants down by like on a 1 land plus a cantrip hand, but I think getting my pressure into play is the correct prioritization here. Honey does work in the EU. It works all around the world. It works better in the United States and in the EU, but it does work in other parts of the world as well, I'm told. I think I'm just going to cast this Bloodghast here. We are 2-1 in this league. Does the amount of hand hate in this deck feel right, or does it need adjusting? ASIM, thanks for checking out, honey. I appreciate the support. Why don't I automate the shield process? Because that's not natural. I like it to feel like a natural part of the stream, not just like a regular old commercial. I also like to be able to pause in the middle of shilling to like thank people for subscribing or cheering or stuff like that. I think Bob's on our team. What do we think? What do we think? Is Bob on our team? I think this Path to Exile is here for a Tarmogoyf. I think Bob's on our side. Bobby! Damn it, Bob. You're supposed to be on my team. God bless. God bless. All right. This is a matchup I want these in. This is probably a matchup I want these in as well. Generally speaking, I like trimming discard against Jund style decks because these are matchups that generally come down to playing to the board more than anything. I think I'm actually going to trim Aethersphere Harvester here. While the health gain might be nice, having a 3-mana card that dies to Kolaghan's Command sounds really unappealing. I think Smuggler's Copter is worth keeping in because it is a card that kind of generates some grindy value for us, and it's cheaper than Aethersphere Harvester, so like when it gets blown up by Kolaghan's Command, I feel slightly less bad. Modern staple night market lookout. Sign me up. Cut 4 land, add 4 Springleaf Drum. I think if they cast Dark Confidant now, I'm going to kill it with the Collective Brutality because I think at this point Bob's not on our team, but I think we were far enough ahead last game that Bob was on our team. My favorite card in this. I actually really kind of like Night Market Lookout. The card's just been like subtly an ace. It's like my ace in the hole. Do I want to path this to get in 2 points of damage? I think so. I think so. I can't kill the Goyf with Collective Brutality because Collective Brutality doesn't kill creatures. State-based actions kill creatures. I'm going to play the Bloodsoaked Champion out here as opposed to the second Night Market Lookout because I would prefer to not lose 2 creatures to a Maelstrom Pulse next turn. Watch you so much, I feel it's finally time I give you something for keeping me entertained at work this whole summer. Thank you, Rez. I appreciate the bits. Let me know if there is a deck in the queue you'd like to bump with those. Friendly reminder that whenever you cheer 100 bits or more or donate $1 or more, you can always bump a deck up that's in the queue. See it a little bit sooner. The people that support my content, gosh, my dictation has been really bad today. The people that support my content dictate what we play and when we play it. Wouldn't be here without your wonderful support. What's my favorite all-time deck? Probably Teamer Flash from KTK Standard. No, not KTK Standard. Innistrad RTR Standard. Wow, they didn't have a third land. If we wouldn't have pathed them, they'd have fumbled. We can see them cycle the Spellbomb here. Okay, we're going to see them cycle the Spellbomb. It's going to be to get rid of the Bloodsoaked Champion. That's fair. What's my favorite modern legal card that doesn't have a good deck for it? Spellstutter Sprite. Blue-Black Fairies is like close to good enough, but it really comes up a little bit short, I think. Yeah, Yeva deck. If there was a competitive Yeva deck for my modern queue, I would be in so hard, so quick. So quick. I think there's a good chance they have a Doomblade in their hand. So I'm going to go ahead and do this and ditch this Gideon. Right, they have a Brutality. They have double Bloodbraid Elf. That's really scary. Hopefully they draw a tapped land. Or just like something that doesn't kill my Pain Seer. Gargantuan, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. Yeah, just draw me them cards, baby. Alright, so they're gonna get to Bloodbraid next turn. But that's fine, because I get to Bitterblossom. Actually, I don't even want a Bitterblossom, right? I just want to go like Night Market Bloodsoaked Champion. Definitely. This deck has an impressive amount of grind that it doesn't look like it has when you look at it at first. The deck looks like a really mediocre pile of cards. Why didn't I wait until their turn to pass? Because I want to attack. I want to attack for 4. They're at 6. Yeah, it's like this. It's really scrappy is the best way to describe this deck. Like I said, this is the 3rd time we've played this archetype in recent memory. If you want to see the other 2 leagues with it, they're on my YouTube channel and on my website. I've been really impressed with the discard spells. It felt good. This configuration feels good. My one thought after looking at the sideboard plan here is I think we have too many cards for Storm at the moment. It's possible that we need this many Damping Spheres to be competitive against Tron. So I think I'd either want to trim a Kambal or a Damping Sphere, but I'm not 100% sure what I would want to put in the board in that slot at the moment. I have this under fan favorite right now. Here in my car, I feel safest of all. I can lock all my doors. It's the only way to live in cars. Beep, beep, beep. Some bad 80s music. All right, this the last time we played a league with this deck. Both of our losses in the last league we played with this deck were to this archetype. I came into this stream at just the right time. What's going on, Marty? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take the Nagate here, since that's going to counter our car next turn. Do I watch the stream before I YouTube it? Nope. In fact, like, the deck we played before this one is already uploaded to YouTube and will be processed. So, I will, I'll hit publish on that as soon as I'm done streaming, and then this video will take, like, 4 minutes to upload, 3 or 4 minutes to upload, and then it'll take a little while to process, and then as soon as it's done processing, I'll publish it. Yeah, unfortunately, only 2 decks today. That darn Moto downtime. So I'm going to go ahead and play this Pain Seer here. Do I want to let them condemn my Smuggler's Copter? I think I do. It gives me a loot on the Bloodghast. My YouTube is very minimal effort. We've had some very wonderful... Actually, speaking of the YouTube channel, I was talking about giving away some playmats and stuff. If you don't win a playmat in the giveaway on Friday that we're going to be doing, something that we're having subscribers do if they have time is you'll notice we've been adding timestamps underneath the videos on my YouTube channel. Those timestamps are being contributed by subscribers in the Discord server, and we're letting them collect points to redeem for bumping decks in the queue, or playmats, or signed cards, and all sorts of stuff like that. Why didn't I play the champion? That's a good question. Because I was talking about stuff. I should have a champion in play. 10 out of 10. How do you enter the giveaways? Giveaways will be going on Friday, and we'll have details for how you get into them on Friday. By that I mean I haven't worked out those details yet. Back once again. Thank you, Link Between, for the 4-month resub there. I appreciate it. So I'm just not playing around a sweeper here. Just gonna mostly go all in. I think we, especially game 1, we just need to get under them. When their sweeper is Terminus, we're good at grinding out decks that don't have graveyard hate, but Terminus is effectively graveyard hate. We're gonna see Snap Path here. Maybe I shouldn't attack with Copter this turn, or Crew Copter this turn, because they have Snap Path. Maybe that's true. Yeah, a signed picture of me is one of the options if people are into that sort of thing. People have asked about those in the past, so we put them on the things you could get. And like, if I would have had this in play the 2 turns ago when I messed up, they'd be like 4 lower at this point, right? They'd be at 12 right now, which would be a big deal. We've played Mono Black Devotion a couple of times on stream in the past. It's always felt kind of aggressively mediocre. Well, that doesn't cast Cryptic Command. It does, however, put a Jace the Mind Sculptor into play, which can potentially set up a Terminus for them. Yep. This is going to be a Brainstorm gain 3 for them. Am I wearing a shirt in the signed picture? I am. It is not one of those kinds of pictures. So we've got 10 power in play here. So we'll put them to 9, and we could be putting them to 5 here again if I would have played a little better. Can we get you in the Brian Kibler pose? I play on foot. Yeah, I have a standing desk that goes up and down, so I split my streaming time about half standing and half sitting. Huh. So my radar's up here because they could have shocked this into Cryptic me this turn. So they have Settle. Are we gonna catch them with this Collective Brutality? If they're holding Settle, we get to punish them. We should hopefully have a referral code for Uplift desks soon for people that are thinking about getting one of my awesome desks. Hey, actually just responded to me. Okay, so they have Snap, Condemn. Am I worried about Opt Terminus? I am, but Cryptic Command... I think I have to take Cryptic here. Did they set up Terminus on the Jace? Yep. Yeah, like I said, we mentioned this earlier when we were playing the Landfall deck. This is exactly... Oh, they could snap up Terminus too, yeah. This is exactly the style of deck that blue-white control gets to beat up on. If you've registered more than 10 creatures in your modern deck, you're probably going to have a terrible matchup against blue-white control. And honestly, I'm not really sure there's anything we can really do about it. We're trying a couple of things here between Bitterblossom and Gideon to see how it goes, but I would not be surprised this matchup is rancid no matter what we do. This is match number 5. We're currently 3-1 in this league. It's going to be my last match of the day. We are 3-1. The bot is incorrect. The bot command is wrong. What made blue-white better? Blue-white was made better by a plethora of things. Blue-white was made better by Opt. It was made better by Search for Azcanta. It was made better by Teferi. It was made better by Jace the Mind Sculptor. Like, there were just a critical number of things that, like, all went into making blue-white better simultaneously. Field of Rune. Yep. There are a bunch of tiny things that have all added up into blue-white being more competitive than it previously was. My record on keeping one-landers here has not been good so far today. Yeah, that's true too. There's been a lot more creature decks running around that really care about Terminus as well. I don't draw lands because I'm incredibly unlucky and I hate to mulligan. Those two things might be related to each other. No, this is going to be the last deck of the day. So it looks like we're going to be done here very soon. For the record, blue-white's just okay. I'm explaining why blue-white is less bad than it was. That's an incredibly low bar to vault over. Less bad than blue-white was previously. Super, super easy to accomplish. Why would I want to Collective Drain? I think I want to just stick Smuggler's Copter here. Like, they're at 7. I got plenty of power in play. Like, we just, like, kill them. And again, just like, this is huge. Like, if my opponent had to tap out to play a Supreme Verdict this turn, it would be very, very good for us. But because they don't have to tap out to play a sweeper, they just get to do this and like do more things this turn. It's very bad for us. All right, Campbell on the back of the chopper here might be able to steal this. I mean, and now they have to pick, right? Like, if they path the Copter, that's great. They go to 5. And then when they deal with Campbell, they go to 3. People love Celestial Colonnade decks. The type of magic that the Celestial Colonnade decks play is the type of magic that people who want to feel smart love playing in Modern. So these decks are always disproportionately played in relative comparison to the power level that they offer. Oh, I think I'm discarding Pain Seer here. Correct. Terminus's converted mana cost is 6. Blue-white control was the most played deck in day 2 of the Grand Prix, and it was the most played deck by people who had 2 buys at the Grand Prix, and it still failed to top 8. Nope, they have 2 Snapcaster Mages in their hand. Oh, they're at 2. Sweet. So hopefully this will be lethal. Yeah, it had arguably the best players in the tournament playing it. They had the best tiebreakers, and they all failed to top 8. That's how good blue-white control is. Alright, I'm going to lead on Bitterblossom so we can bait a Spell Snare if they have it. Kill you. So, we do get punished by Spell Pierce with the sequencing we just did, but 1, I think my opponent's deck is pretty unlikely to have Spell Pierce in it post-board, and 2, I think Spell Snare is more likely to be in their deck in general and in this matchup. Our one-lander did get there. We did give them the 2-power 1-drop beatdown. I think this hand's pretty good. Turn 1 discard spell, turn 2 Bitterblossom. Is Shambling Vents a reasonable addition? I don't think we can afford tapped lands in this deck. I think tapped lands are just not a place we really want to be in life. I think I just don't care about this Rest in Peace, right? Are we okay with taking Path to Exile here? I could also just, like, take the Opt, right? Because, like, Path isn't even very good against Bitterblossom. Would you consider Mutavault in this deck? That's an interesting suggestion. Mutavault could be better than Vault of the Archangel. Yeah, I think I want the Opt, actually. I think the rest of the cards in their hand just, like, don't accomplish a whole lot in the face of Bitterblossom. Yeah, actually, I kind of like the idea of Mutavault a lot, actually. Maybe that's something I'd like to explore next. I can see that being okay. Like, make this be a Mutavault, and then maybe go up to like 21 lands and play like maybe add like a 22nd land and play like 3 Mutavaults in the deck. I could see that being really good potentially. Yeah, the vault is a little bit slow. No, I've not seen any blue-white lists with Azuri Storm in them. Well, I mean, we have Lingering Souls, and we have Lingering Souls, and we have Bloodghast, and we have Bloodsoaked Champion. So Rest in Peace doesn't seem terrible. Gosh, their draws have been good. So they have Terminus plus Pathier. So this sequence here means that I'm going to be able to draw with at least 1 Pain Seer here. Yeah, but that wasn't in blue-white control Wannabe Beetle. That was in Spirits. So remember, we can crew the Smuggler's Copter even though we're not doing anything with it, just to enable the Inspire here. Shouldn't we have Pain Seared on our turn? No, I'm fine. If they want to path Smuggler's Copter, I think I'm okay with that. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm supposed to care about the Smuggler's Copter more. I don't know. I feel like if they're killing the Smuggler's Copter, that's like a net win for me. Alright, what do you got? Why does Fairies not do much in Modern? It's just kind of slow and clunky. It's okay. It's solidly tier 2. You can find a Blue-Black Fairies deck list and gameplay videos of it on my website. It's a deck we've played on stream a number of times before. Alright, so I'm definitely just doing this again, right? I just want to take... Do I just take the Terminus? I totally just take the Terminus here, right? I can beat this path. No, I think both the cards in my hand are more valuable than draining them for 2. 3 months! What's going on, Slacker? Thank you for the 3-month resubscription there. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. If we crew in response to Cryptic, it just gets tapped down and it doesn't matter. This is gonna have haste, so it's better than this. I think I'm gonna activate Vault of the Archangel here. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna activate Vault and gain a bunch of health. We're kind of scraping through here. Probably trade with Copter here and then hope to hit a Terminus. If they don't hit a Terminus here, we'll be in a very insane spot. I do love having infinite basic lands in our deck. That is nice. They took Bloodghast because it has haste. Alright, they hit a Doomblade. And this is going to tell them that I don't have lands left in my deck. So this tells them they can Ghost Quarter me. So I need to play Lingering Souls here, because if they hit a land to activate Colonnade, I don't have lethal in play. It sucks against a sweeper, but I think this is the line we have to take. Opponent said GG. Sweet. All right. Awesome. I'm gonna contribute. I'm gonna say Bitterblossom contributed to that win. I'm gonna make myself feel good and say Bitterblossom contributed to that win. That's part of the reason we got there. God, this deck's really growing on me. Like I said, this is the third league we've played this deck in. It's felt pretty reasonable consistently. Someone mentioned Mutavault in the league, and I kind of want to try Mutavault. That's like the first time in recent memory we've activated Vault of the Archangel, and I think trimming that seems reasonable. Like, the deck doesn't look like much on paper, right? But it's subtly very powerful with all the grindiness that it has and just, like, efficient spells. Yeah, honestly, I think I'd like to... These extra fetch lands in here are maybe a little bit silly, since I have Fatal Push in the sideboard more mostly and on paths. You'd have to sit down and really think about it. Let's give a rough sketch here. I think I'd want a few creature. I don't think we want tapped lands in the deck, but I think I want a few creature lands. I think I want to go up to 22 lands, add 1 land, and go to 3 Mutavaults in the deck, I think. I think for the cut, as far as a trim is concerned, to fit another land in, I think Bloodghast is probably the cut. We're a little heavy on 2-drops anyways, and we have a lot of card advantage in the deck, and black can be a little bit rough sometimes. So I think I would do this in the main deck potentially. Honestly, I could even see a world where we just want the 4th Lingering Souls before the 3rd Bloodghast too. Just like Souls is so good in general. More 3-drops are kind of scary with our 8 Dark Confidants though, so it's kind of a give and take, a little bit of balance there. Yeah, exactly. And like we still have plenty of black, right? Like there's 18 black sources here. We have 18 lands that make black mana. And honestly, I think I kind of just want to put in a Godless Shrine over the 7th fetch land, because the fetches were mostly there to enable Revolt on Fatal Push when that was in the main deck. But since we've relegated these to the sideboard, I think just like playing another black-white duel makes a lot of sense. As far as the sideboard is concerned, I think we have too many cards for Storm. So, like, when we played against Storm, Stony Silence does prevent crewing. So, when we played against Storm, we have, like, this many cards to bring in at the moment. And, like, this is, like, an absurd number of cards, right? Like, I kind of felt like we struggled to fit this many in without diluting our primary game plan too much. Play another Bitterblossom instead of Sphere. Yeah, Bitterblossom seems like a pretty reasonable card. I don't think I want Liliana the Last Hope in the sideboard of this deck because you saw the blue-white control player boarded in Rest in Peace against us in that last game, and I think people are going to be inclined to bring in Graveyard Hate against us pretty consistently, which makes me want to kind of try and sidestep that by generating card advantage in other manners rather than my graveyard. Yeah, I think a third Bitterblossom over that. Honestly, it's probably right. It could be right to just do this, just like go close to the full boat there. The Gideon's probably ambitious with our Dark Confidants. I don't know. I'll have to put some thought in. I don't like building decks on stream too much because it just turns into people screaming cards at me. But I think I would probably try something in the main deck like this next time. And I think something close to this. I think another Bitterblossom on the board is probably fine. Someone said another Anguished Unmaking. You could also try something like Fragmentize or something like that as well. Thank you everybody for watching today. I have to be done today on a bit of a shorter stream because we have motor downtime. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'll do my normal 9 to 3 time slot tomorrow. And then I will also, on Friday, I'm going to be doing a celebration stream because we get 2,000 subscriber points, which is absurd. Thank you very much for the generous support. So I'm going to be giving something back to you all on Friday. We're going to be running a giveaway all during the stream. We're going to be streaming for 10 or 12 hours. So if you want to enter to win some free stuff on Friday, be sure to drop by the stream and we'll have details on how you'll be able to do that. Tomorrow, I'll be building the Elder Deep Fiend deck. That is correct. I'm going to put that together so I have some time to spend building. All right, folks, everybody have a good night. Let's find someone streaming Modern to host.